Hey, Ouchcast. What's up, Squid Squad?
That was impressive. You did the whole little shimmy and everything. You some sassy.
Brought to you by Monster.
You a sassy bitch. Hey, night 2 at the lovely Doubletree Inn out in beautiful sunny Commerce, near the
Oh my
Commerce
God, it's so
Casino
bright.
and the Citadel. If you've never been in the Citadel, guys, you got to go. It's a what is it? An outlet with a bunch of
That's actually kind of cool.
it's a fancy outlet. So you can find like Guess, Calvin Klein. You can find the Disney store there. Bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff. You know, I remember. No, you don't remember Jose Bonilla. I remember this guy that I used to be friends. Well, I'm still
Sounds
friends with him, but he's not here anymore. You,
All right.
you man, we
I
called him
think so.
Chepe. I think.
I think so.
Chepe?
He used to work at the Johnny Rockets here in Citadel, and remember
Oh,
he had a black Toyota Paseo. I don't know if you guys remember those cars.
I do.
It was a very compact car. We somehow we
Yes.
were like a clown car. We would fit
Yeah.
everyone into it.
Hey,
and drive
all our
down
cars
here.
are clown cars nowadays.
True, but back then this was in the 90s. I remember he had to come down here for some odd reason, and he told us, "Hey, go with us, and I'll buy you guys lunch." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, because he worked at Johnny Rockets, I was excited. I'm gonna get a milkshake. I'm gonna get a burger and fries. It's gonna be awesome, right? So he basically brought us. First of all, he brought us to a friend's house first, and we're like, "Dude, what's going on?"
That's where the twist
Just
happened.
Just hang on.
You got the milkshake.
I got the milkshake, all right? Brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, "It's better than not." No,
They're like, it's been
then he brought us. Then he brought us over here, which the Citadel back then was totally different layout.
Way
It
different,
really
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It really was like the saddest little like.
It was, yeah.
Like they had the Old Navy. They had
Hello,
ESW.
darkness, my old friend. It was like that.
What do you guys remember what this was before? I mean, before even our time. I don't know. It was like a tire shop or
It
something
was a
like that,
Firestone
right?
Tower shop
Firestone
back in the
Tower
days.
shop.
Yeah, that's what it used to be.
Manufacturer.
That's why
yeah.
the front looks the way it is, because it's supposed to be. The guy, he was obsessed with Cecil B. DeMille movies, and that's why the old Babylon film that Cecil B. DeMille did back in the days, and he based it off of that, which is also what the mall down on Sunset used to be based on as well, but they just changed that to
Interesting. I
something
didn't know
crappy
that.
nowadays.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he brought us down here, and he's like, yeah, he dragged the thing out so long. I don't know. We were starving, me and my friend Jason Nunez. And we finally ended up at Johnny Rockets, and he sat down. He's like, hold on, I'm going to go get you guys your food. He came out with one tuna melt, cut in half, and he says, all right, there's your guys' your lunch.
That's some
No drink, no nothing, dude.
shit.
Chepe, if you're watching, you were a dick, dude.
Yeah.
You were.
Oh
Fuck
my
you,
God.
Chep. I wasn't even there, and I'm pissed, man. This episode was going to be a time travel episode in which we're going to give you the secret to time travel. We're going to use it, and we're coming for you.
We're going to beat him up in the corner. Here's your shake.
We're coming for you, man. Because that's some. You know what? Don't mess with my money, and don't mess with my expectations of free food, please.
It's late at night, and like I'm thinking about food now.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I'm just saying, man. You invite me out and say, Enrique, let's go do something. I promise I'm gonna eat. But like, cool. And then you like give me like some little chintzy stuff.
No.
Oh,
that
friendship
was
over.
That was pretty. Yeah, that was bad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
I had a friend. Oh, what?
I was gonna tell you, like,
Yeah.
I just remembered. I forgot to put in an order. Max.
I just saw Max Olga's Naturally restaurant out near Culver City in LA. Put that
Off
out
of
there.
Obama
Off of
Boulevard?
Obama Boulevard in La Cienega.
Yeah.
Best food ever, dude.
Amazing
Best
food, man.
Food ever.
Wait, what's this place called again?
Olga's
Olga's.
Naturally.
Olga's.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a vegan-friendly restaurant, but it's
Oh,
also
never mind.
Mexican food. No, it's
No, no, no.
There's carne asada.
Okay. Now
There's
you got me.
It's really delicious.
And it's organic.
Okay.
It's
Natural.
all fresh, all the freshest product you can ever have. The
Absolutely.
juiciest chicken,
Best.
juiciest meat. Go to our Ouchcast.com. Go to the Friends of Ouchcast. There's a link on there to his page, and you can see his menu. And I'm not whistling Dixie. I promise. Some of the best Mexican food you could
Yeah.
ever have in LA.
So you go to ouchcast.com and right here you see Olga's. Click on that, and actually I think I might go to there.
Look at that! Look at that!
Yeah.
Jeez.
You have to go.
Yeah, I think
And
I'm gonna go there.
We're not being paid promotion here, but
No,
I'm saying
no,
it
no,
from
no.
the
He's a-
heart.
He's a friend of
I
the
have
of the
been going
podcast.
there
but
for years.
Yeah. I got it just from
Delicious.
Mark.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yes.
he told me the story
What story?
about his second birth.
Ah, yes.
I did not
Amazing.
know
You
that.
did not know that. It just happened.
Okay, can you fill in Enrique and our viewers of exactly what that was about?
So our friend Max, he's about our age, right?
Yeah,
he's not
he's
too
about our
old.
age.
And a couple years ago, if not 1 year ago, this guy who works at a restaurant and is busy all day. He's not super overweight. You know, he's normal weight, maybe a little bit overweight, but
I wouldn't say
he's
overweight.
fine. No, I wouldn't say either, right? But
No, he's normal
he's
weight.
normal.
I'm overweight. That
Yeah,
was
no. Yeah, not too much. Anyways,
As he looked
Yeah.
at me and you.
as I look at it, I'm like,
I'm on Ozempic, man. You know what? Leave me alone, okay? I've lost some weight, okay?
I'll
I'm
just-
looking sexy
Junk.
right
No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
No.
now.
So this
Yeah,
guy,
continue.
Sexy. Look at me.
so this guy starts feeling bad, feeling sick, ill, right, at his restaurant,
Oh.
and starts feeling dizzy and everything like that. And they call the paramedics. Paramedics comes in, they check him out, and they check his vitals, right? Blood pressure. I don't know what else they check. Sugar levels, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Everything's
pulse,
fine.
everything.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
And they're like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I don't know."
What'd you take?
Yeah, I feel fine. You know, I don't feel fine. I feel horrible. As the paramedics are there, this guy's like having this like passing out, convulsions and so forth. And they're like, "Well, obviously he's not well, right? Something's going on." So they take him to the hospital. And as he tells me, they take him to the hospital, and they're at Cedars-Sinai because they knew it had something to do with the heart. They couldn't figure out what it was. They're like, well, automatically they said, well, first of all, you're too young to be having a heart attack, right? So they kind of like drew that out the window. But something's wrong with you. And they tell them, we're going to do some studies on you. Okay, no problem. They do like 100 studies on this guy, right? They just keep doing studies on the guy. Eventually they say, you know what, we're going to have to do a little bit more. But in the meantime, we have a feeling that you might have an infected heart because of a procedure he had previously, that his heart got infected with like a bacterial infection type something like
And he
that.
had like a flush out or something like that.
Unfortunately, with those type of diagnosis, they were literally giving him 2 months to live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is like we can't do much. It's infected. We'd have to either take it out and put a new one back in, right? So he has to deal with this whole issue. Wow, right now all of a sudden start making plans. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, you're
Right?
being told your time's up.
Time's up, and from one day to another. So anyway, so he's going through all this. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? As they're going through all these things, again, he's not feeling well. Things are going wrong. Things are going, things are not working out well. Eventually, he goes out again, and this time he goes out, and as he told the story, the doctors basically told him he went out for 8 seconds. He was gone.
Dead.
His heart was gone.
No pulse,
Clinically
no
dead.
No
nothing.
pulse.
Clinically dead.
Clinically dead. 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. You're out.
So we're
And the
on
winner of the Grand Prix
set-
race is number 8.
We're on the set of Fast and Furious, and it's all about
Harajuku.
it's all about family.
Itadakimasu. Oroshiku no deshimasu.
I love how even when we try to stay on track with the subject,
And it wasn't even me.
I know what I'm saying. There's always something.
Hold on, I think I got something for that.
You are
I
a
thought you said
rude,
something.
Yeah,
terrible person.
That was good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's to the
I
driver.
would have done maybe that one.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah,
Anyways, he's telling me this story, and he's like, Marcos, I don't know exactly what happened, right? I wasn't aware of it. I don't know exactly what happened. He's like, but I did have, I don't know if it was a dream or an experience during that moment.
Actually, let me put a note on that.
Yeah.
He mentioned that he had that earlier before he had those 8 seconds out.
Was it earlier?
Yeah,
okay,
he said.
go for it.
Oh, now here's the thing.
Yeah.
What he told me was like, what the doctors told him after they did all the tests, that that was the second attack he had that day. So when he was at home, he had that dream that he was having the attack and he didn't even know it.
That's correct. That's correct. He had an attack and he didn't even know. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I got my story wrong. But yeah, so he has this dream where he's in this mountaintop, beautiful, peaceful place, and all he knows is just he's feeling this serenity,
Yeah.
unknown serenity that's never come upon him ever before. And he's like, well, how do you even explain this kind of a dream or experience, right? Something you've never even felt before, never even succumbed to before. And he now tells the story as in, I don't even know if it was a dream or what it was. Which, in those cases where your heart goes out, what really is it? Is it really a dream? Is it really an out-of-body experience? Is it really death? We don't know.
He also mentioned that he had seen some of his relatives that were no longer with us when he had this. So he was like, he saw some aunts and uncles and people that just he had passed away years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now he doesn't say that he's not claiming that he had a
Correct.
You know,
He's not claiming.
he says this is what I had. I had a dream. So
Or
he's emphasizing that it was a dream to
So
him.
he's keeping his feet grounded.
Yeah, he's saying that he even told me the scariest part is when I did die, there was no blinding light, there was no tunnel, it was darkness, it was black. It wasn't like they say where you go into a long sleep. Tokyo Drift. It wasn't nothing like that. There you go. Hey, you got it.
Nailed it.
Right here, right
Nailed
here.
it. Nailed it.
It wasn't. I would say it wasn't a Tokyo Drift. No, it wasn't like they say that we're like, oh, and then there's this tunnel or this peaceful presence. Or he says it was just nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blank. So he's like, yeah, I don't know, but that one I had earlier was like a dream. It was a dream, and from what the doctors say, I had another incident at that time. Now, what he also said, what they found is that he had actually two main arteries completely 100% clogged.
Oh wow.
They had
So that was the ultimate diagnosis,
yeah,
right?
But it took them forever. He went to different hospitals and different things, and no one can find out which I don't understand. That's how screwed up our medical industry is in this country, where if he wouldn't
I've
have
always
gone to
said that.
Cedar Sinai,
Yeah.
So I have like two like sort of things that I want to take from this story that'll lead us hopefully into a bigger discussion of something else completely different. But the
and now
first
for
part,
something completely different.
well, the first part is like when you just said about the aortas and you know, the thing that I've realized about the medical field. I mean, we think that doctors are just like people who think teachers are like these magicians that they'll come to us with their problems. Like as a teacher, I often get told my kid does this, they do this, and they listen to my and they listen to my advice. Because you know I am a professional, I have the degree, I have experience, but they listen to me with such hope that if I'm being perfectly honest, is intimidating sometimes, because I realize that they're expecting me to have some grand solution for these problems, and so I feel obligated to do my best to try to have that. But you know, that's, I think in the medical field, doctors are incredibly well trained and they do have all of these systems, but when it comes down to it, they are just like any mechanic working on a car. All they can do is take all the information that's given to them, because sometimes people don't give them enough information. People lie. Do you drink often? Once in a while, when in reality, probably drink 3-4 times a day. You know what I'm saying? And so a doctor, all they can do is diagnose with the best information they have, which sometimes isn't enough, and they can just go on experience that they have, maybe a lot, maybe a little, and they're looking at it the way you look at a car. If this pipe doesn't work, that means it might be this area, so let's focus on this area. All the meanwhile, because they don't have that information or whatever, the real problem's over here. I mean, that's the way I see it. So I mean, I want doctors to be like superheroes, and sometimes they're just not. And so I'm not trying to make excuses for them, which I guess I kind of sort of did.
But
at the same time, though, I try to be kind of empathetic and open-minded to that.
Mark, you know what that reminded me of?
What's that?
The plumber's crack sketch that we did from the Ouchcast.
Why is that reminding you of that?
The
Because
original
how we-
Ouchcast?
the original Ouch.
Yeah.
From back when we were kids.
Yeah.
Because so context for the people who don't know. Of course, you're never gonna see this. We did this scene
Maybe
where
they'll see it. I have the video.
Sorry, I needed somebody to get punched. Hold on. How about this one? All right, I'm bored. Yeah, that was
wow. Anyway,
it. No, I'm just kidding. Please tell
okay.
us. Yeah.
So we had a sketch where if you find the video, that'd be great. I don't know who came up with this, but we had this thing where was it you or Miguelito that were the patient that were sick in your stomach? Was it you?
Oh my God, I remember that. Was it me? No, I was the doctor.
You were the doctor.
I think I was the doctor.
So it must have been me, Angel. It was probably Angel.
Angel,
Yeah, because it was you and me doing the thing. So
Yeah.
what we decided to do is, I don't know why. What reminded me was you said doctors are like mechanics.
Right.
Well, that's how we played this. We played it as mechanics or plumbers,
cool.
that they were doctors.
Oh.
So we did the whole with the like, all right, what's going on right here? And then
That's
we're like all like,
genius.
and I had like my pants a little lower so my butt crack was showing, and we were like,
Funny enough, you know what he still does to this very day. I can tell you right now.
and he loves it. But so
Hello there.
hello there. Yeah, okay. Well,
Sorry.
he agreed. No, so and then we had Angel as the patient, and what he did is we put shoes on the end, and he had a laundry basket under the blanket.
Okay.
And then we had a bunch of random stuff in there,
That's the
including
best.
his pet Chihuahua. So.
They had the dog in there.
Which
Yeah.
we would put, we would
great.
put the
That's
dog
great.
in
Poor
everything.
doggy.
That was the whole thing. We put Blackie in everything.
Yeah, Blackie.
So-
Blackie
Yeah.
is that?
Blackie
Oh, that's
was the name of the
adorable.
dog. Yeah.
It's like, yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah, so
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
So Angel was on the supposedly on the gurney, which was just him in this pocket of the bed with fake shoes out because he's actually holding all this stuff, and he's like going like under the blanket, and we would be like, okay, what's going on here? And we were like we were just mechanics and just talking shop, right? And we would reach in supposedly into his stomach and like rip
Pulling
him
out
out and
the
start
dog,
pulling. We
pulling out
would
the
pull out the dog and shake, okay, there's nothing there. Throw
By
it
the way,
aside,
the
stuff like
dog
that.
shook all on its own way because it's a chihuahua.
It's a chihuahua,
so you'd be like, he's always trembling.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing. But that reminded me, funny enough, that you said that. I was like, that. I don't want to toot my own horn, but that was ahead of its time, man.
We were
That
ahead
was
of
a-
our time.
that was-
It was.
We had some great
And
sketches.
I have no idea how he came up with that whole body thing with the things coming out and all that. I think at one point we pulled out a basketball.
I don't remember all the stuff we pulled out. We were putting like wrenches and stuff
Yeah,
like that. You know?
I know we pulled out wrenches. I know we pulled out Blackie.
That was the ultimate. I think that
Wasn't
was
your
one of the best ones.
brother like his head popped up, Miguelito? Didn't his head pop up and then we put it back up? No.
It didn't pop up, but what we had was a lot of bloopers in terms of our camera work.
Oh,
That's funny.
yeah.
Because the guy underneath feeding the stuff, sometimes we catch
Oh yeah,
their
the
hand.
head because he was one of the ones helping, right, or
Yeah, I
something like
think
that.
so.
Yeah,
So
that's what it was.
We need to digitize this and put it on the
Oh,
website
it's in the works.
someday.
It's in
'cause
the works.
It was
It's in the
amazing.
works, but he doesn't let me. He doesn't let me post
It's not.
that.
It's not that I don't. You know
But
what?
You know what?
You know what I would
proof,
like
by
to
the
do?
way,
Why?
it's proof that Ouchcast existed before
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
right. I
this
agree with
British
you.
people, and so
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. So British
No.
people were coming for
What
it. I
I
mean,
wanna-
unlike Marjorie Taylor Greene, I do respect your guys' opinion and your news.
Go
and-
back to your
Right?
country.
I love you, British people, but Ouchcast is ours. Okay, so we're coming for you on that one.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene, let me speak your language.
Yeah, she's pretty trash. So you know,
Anyway, I will allow it
All
if
right.
you let me edit it to the point. I'm not saying
Cut out
here we
the
go.
embarrassing
No.
Never mind, we'll
Not
never
to-
see it.
No, not to cut out things, to enhance it.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
I want to
see.
add sound effects, music, and all the sound.
Okay,
and
George
I suppose it does
Lucas,
need
chill
that.
out.
I wanna do
He's
George
good- and
Lucas
he's
ultimate
gonna-
cut, yes.
He's gonna put like Anakin Skywalker in the background
No, I'll put Isaac in the background eating chips, just staring at us like, these guys are
because
idiots.
he was always there.
He was always there.
He was always there.
It's a circle.
Just never noticed me.
Yeah.
Dang, where's it?
Are you a middle child?
I'm
No, you're not a middle
it's a
child.
circle. It's a circle.
I want. It's a circle.
It's on the first page.
Oh man! All right,
killed
so
it.
it's a circle. It's a
Here.
straight line.
Here.
Oh
go-
man, see that dead air.
See?
Uh,
Yeah, mine's
So-
better. It's a circle.
So
all
go-
right, so where were we at?
We were
Because
going back
I
with,
want
this-
to talk about something, but I'm gonna wait.
No.
till
I'm
you
gonna,
guys
medical
finish
field?
up, I'm gonna finish up what we were talking about.
Yeah,
which was
please,
the
please.
experience with Max.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Because-
no,
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you, because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually going to
Yes.
lead to what I want. Please,
Perfect.
by all means.
So basically,
Sorry, Max.
he had these experiences that we were talking about, and yeah, I'm sure I hope he doesn't mind us talking about this.
Oh, yeah. We
Oh,
didn't
it's too
even
late,
ask.
bud.
I'm
You're on
sorry,
it.
Matt.
You ain't getting nothing for this. Zero
apologize
dividends.
for this.
Visit
No
Outcast.com,
dividend.
Friends of Outcast. Click on his link. Order
like,
his food.
how
That's
much
how
money
we
you
yeah,
get
that's how we can thank
zero.
him and appreciate
No
all-
dividends.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're in the
I
Trump
drink
economy.
your milkshake.
We're in the Trump economy.
However-
You ain't getting
Everything
nothing.
goes. Oh, okay, and everything goes right. So, anyways, he's sharing this experience with me, and you know, it was obviously traumatic, right? To go through all this experience is
Right.
traumatic, but it was also, I think, eye opening for him to have experienced this other kind of out of body experience or dream. And so I mean, how much valuable for me to think if I were in those shoes to have experienced something as close to death and to get a second chance, right? A second life. That's basically how he sees it.
He sees it like a
chance.
second birthday.
It's a
A
religious
second birthday.
experience.
That's how he says. He told me it's his second birthday.
Second birthday, so be basically reborn, right? I mean, second life. I mean,
Yeah.
what better
I
thing
mean-
than that?
I didn't want to say it in front of him, but I was like, yeah, I'd be kind of bummed if I came back from that. Like, I'd be like,
like this.
damn it.
That's
It
Again?
would have been good, yeah.
This is
Here
it.
I go.
So okay.
He did mention one thing though after the experience like that, it's kind of like mind-boggling how I can't experience anything like that here. Like you can't even compare it anymore.
Yeah.
So everything here is now uncomparable.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it is kind of a tragedy, like you said, like, oh, I'm back. Like I would have liked to stay there, but hey, we'll get there one day.
Well, okay, so
Hopefully
like,
today.
Hopefully.
the cynic in me, it's things like, okay, well, what he was experiencing was like a rush of chemicals to his brain, and so in essence, he's chasing a blue dragon. Yes, it's true. There is no experience like that here, other than whatever whatever like blue dragon he's gonna chase after that. But mind you, I think that there is some hidden truth in our subconscious that we do reach at a point of death. I mean, there has to be. I would think, because God, doesn't all this have to mean something? And it makes me think of like the existential crisis of it all, like the idea of who we are as a people, who we are as an individual. Dude, like for me, like I have those moments where I wonder about my place in the universe. And I think for some people, Marcos, we talked about in the other day on our podcast with you about religion. So some people, it's religion. That's the answer. That's where the existential crisis gets solved. But for me, that's unsatisfying, because what I'm really saying is that, like my existence is really just connected to this higher being, which maybe sounds beautiful, but to me that sounds horrifying. And I'll tell you why, because then that means that I don't have any real autonomy in my life. I know that religion says no, you have willpower and that, but I just can't make it make sense for me. And again, I'm not the end all be all, so I'm not trying to endorse some change in lifestyle for anybody else other than myself. I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. Right. But and it shows in the things that I consume in terms of my entertainment. I've recently been watching a lot of like horror movies, but shorts, because there's a lot of great ideas that people like really fall into, that if you try to like drag them out over like an hour and a half, like this long ass podcast we do, right?
I already checked out 10 minutes ago.
right. And so you do a small little snippet of an idea, and usually get gold. So for example, there's this great one that I've been wanting to send to you, Angel. It's a 6 or 7 minute a horror short, and it's called The Portrait of God. And I mean, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna give some spoilers because I have to. You guys haven't watched this.
If you're gonna send it to me, don't give me no spoilers.
You know what? I'm spoiling it for you. You're not watching it.
Fine. Send it to me.
Yeah, because
he knows me too well.
It's in the heart. It's the heart of the matter for me. Like right now, when I'm so in this particular thing, the idea is the girl is looking at what people say is a portrait of God, and really it's just a black screen, right? Mm-hmm. And she's preparing a report. So she's sitting in a dark room, which looks like a college, but it's a dark room, and she's preparing her slides and everything. And then she's looking at this portrait, and she looks at it, and she's like wondering, because she's a very religious person. She proclaims in the movie, in the short, but she's not able to see this portrait. However, in these little snippets of voice acting that's part of it, you hear different people describe what they do see, and what they do see there is actually kind of horrific in a way. I mean, it's unsettling, but nevertheless, they proclaim it to be a portrait, in that regard. Now, in the beginning of the short, there's a line that comes from the Bible that says, if you I'm going to probably misquote it, but it says something about like, if you see God, surely you'll die, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because the idea is that
That's a
he's
Tupac lyric.
Right?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Can you rap it? Do it in?
I can't.
Okay. I mean, it's that hour where we can.
It's almost 1, so no.
Yeah. Why are we recording so late? I don't know.
I wonder.
Hey, you love it. You love it. So anyways, his Portrait of God. And so for me, like, what I loved about this particular thing, and by the way, I didn't give away the ending, so if you do end up watching it, you'll still be surprised. What I love about these things is that idea of like of something that's outside of us, and at least in terms of entertainment and horror, that kind of gets me going. I really like that sort of thing. But it makes me think like, man, I should just become religious and just solve it all for myself. I mean, it would be that easy, and be like, okay, well, there's the answers, but I just can't. And I wonder, is something wrong with me or what? I don't know.
I got a question to ask. You said you were, what it was, popsicle, pensicle, what is it?
Did you call him a popsicle?
What's the word? I didn't mean to.
Pentecostic Apostolic Pentecost.
Pentecost.
Yes.
I liked you better when you were a popsicle.
Apostolic.
I'm a
Pentecost,
born again.
Right? Okay.
I'm a born again popsicle.
I think you need some rest.
I'm tired. Yes. Isaac, take over.
You too shall become a popsicle.
Orange cream. Do you guys believe in? Do you believe
Bro, no.
Do you believe?
No.
Do you believe it? Okay, fudgesicle.
Why is cream in your first flavor?
Whoa.
Because that's my favorite. Oh wait, what? Okay, he's got it nutty.
You know what? On the last podcast, you got me with the C. Well done on that one. I would shake your hand. You're too far
On the
away.
next one, get him, please. Do you believe? You
Yeah.
personally, do you believe? Not religion, but do you believe in reincarnation?
No.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you.
Do you?
I don't have a firm
I'm
grasp on
gonna
it, but
say
yeah.
yes.
Why?
And the only reason is because I have a thing. I have a reoccurring dream since I was 8 years old.
It's
Well,
called
actually, pretty young.
You have a thing?
Just don't tell no one.
It's called a vagina.
It's called the mangina. Get it straight.
Oh, is
Squid squad.
that what I'm smelling? That
That
seared
seaweed-
tilapia?
That seaweed tilapia red snapper.
Yeah, that's right. That's coming in. Man, oof. Get some tartar sauce on that nasty
It
business,
comes with
bro.
this natural tartar sauce. Okay. Since I was like about young, like I'm talking like 7, as far back as I can remember, I wanted to be a good fella. But what I really had this one dream that I have every so often, and it's always the same and it never changes. I picture myself in a car listening to the radio, and the closest
I believe in miracles.
it's an alley right now. No, it's an old. It actually sounds like Del Shannon's "Runaway."
Oh.
It kind of sounds like that
Run,
weird.
Run away.
But it's not the I was walking in the rain to the. It sounds kind of like that, but not. What it sounds like is the keyboard part, the solo keyboard part. That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
I have in my hand a clove cigarette, kind of like a brown cigar. It's like a
Were
small
you
cigarette.
like a gothic girl or something?
No. No, but it's a thick cigar and it smells
Yeah, it
really
was.
thick. It's like a cigar.
Absolutely. Of course it had to
The
be.
car I'm in is I remember it's like an avocado colored
It
car.
wouldn't be
It's at-
any other
it's
color
at
other
night,
than avocado.
right?
Yeah.
It's pouring rain.
Yes, it is.
I remember brick wall, and I'm there waiting.
In his fishnet stockings.
No, I'm inside the car. Why would I have fish in stockings?
Because you're a gothic girl with a clove cigarette in an avocado colored car.
I love how Enrique is picturing me in drag. It tells
tells
me
a lot. It tells a lot.
a lot.
I mean, it's
And he has a
hilarious
smile on his
to
face
me.
too, by the way.
He's getting a robo chubby right now. Don't touch me.
I tell you what. No,
I feel violated.
nothing's happening. Hey, you just roll
That's
on
what
up
she
in your
said.
avocado colored vehicle.
So I'm hearing this, and I'm hearing the rain and everything, and I always picture the same thing, and I can even smell the cigar. And as I'm doing this, I remember like I'm like in an alley because I see the bricks on each side, and I see 2 headlights coming at me, stop in front of me. I can't see; they're blinding me. Doors open up, and then the dream's over every single time.
That's when he got trafficked.
I know, right? Put these balloons up your
And that's when you became a popsicle too.
orange cream. More like fudgesicle on that one.
Are you a racist?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
we know.
He saw a Mexican, he thought mule. Yeah,
Anyway, I'm really enjoying pressing buttons because I have never idea what's going to happen, but sometimes it
I'm
works
letting you
out.
go with it. It's working for me. But I've always thought it's a dream to me, and I've mentioned to a few people, and people are like, oh, it's your past life,
Right.
which I don't think it is. I think it's just a weird, very vivid dream that I have. But
Yeah.
at the same time, there are like these flashes of like I don't want to say memories, but experiences that don't fit into any timeline.
All right, now I'm gonna go with partly with what Enrique was saying is a chemical thing. I'm gonna go anti anything spiritual.
Yeah.
But you know what? You guys mentioned in another podcast something interesting too. I think you guys mentioned it about how
He's confusing us with another podcast.
Because really,
I'm like, where are you going with this?
we said something in another podcast
We
that
said
someone's
something
going to
interesting?
reference.
Something interesting?
I mean, I'm just going to be talking about this guy's fishnet and clove cigars forever, man.
I'm just going to be talking about vinaigrette balls and so the whole time, so I don't know
How
what you're
can
talking
you
about.
when they're juggling them in your mouth?
I hope I'm gonna get paid good money to be on this podcast.
Paid?
No, you didn't hear me earlier. Zero. You get no dividend.
You get paid on that
Nothing.
with that Gatorade. That's what you get paid
You
with.
get nothing.
Okay, so in the other podcast, what
in
is
No,
fact,
you.
in fact, you're losing.
I
Like,
think I am losing. There's a lot of value by being here.
this is like a zero, like negative value
I think
experience.
I should put these on again.
I think so too. You need to be incognito. I mean, put it this way: I don't even want this guy to put me on IMDb. Please don't do that. I need some plausible deniability.
We're gonna
Alex Cast, what's
pixelate
that?
your face and
Yes.
change the tone of your voice.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
It's like,
All right, so I'm pretty sure it was you guys mentioned it. Wasn't it you guys that mentioned how coincidentally when people talk about like seeing ghosts, it's always like an 1800s?
It's me. Yeah, I said it,
ghost.
yeah.
But when you said that
finish the
makes so
sentence
much.
because I want to hear it. So
Yeah,
when
you
we
can
see
repeat what
ghosts-
you said.
What I said was, isn't it funny how whenever they mention a ghost experience, it's always like a Victorian ghost. It's never like someone like it was this guy with a really bad new wave jacket on,
Yes.
listening to Morrissey. They came out in the hallway going, "And tell me why." It's never that. It's always like this Victorian with a big purpose and
Yeah. Well,
you
you
got
know-
me thinking on that. I was like, oh crap, it's true.
It is
it's
true.
true. You know, it's
like
like,
when I die, I'm gonna come back texting and shit. Like, boo.
texting. Yeah.
So there's
But
oh no, please you go.
what I was going to say was, so going back to your story, right? When we really think about it, okay, we can't say what a coincidence it was a Victorian, but what a coincidence maybe that you were thinking about a cigar, something that already existed in your mind versus something that never existed in your mind.
Yeah. But the thing is, see, okay, so the problem I have with reincarnation stories is usually like you meet a bartender, it's like, I believe in reincarnation. In my past life, I was Cleopatra. Or something like that. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
everyone was Cleopatra.
Everybody,
yeah,
yeah.
everyone was King Henry. Everyone was someone famous or
Yeah,
something else.
yeah.
My story is always someone like nonchalant. Like it's no one consequential. It was just something like a split moment. And there are places that I've been that is like, that's kind of weird.
Don't shortchange yourself. You were like clove smoking gothic girl.
I was the Black Dahlia.
You were
Elizabeth Short.
you.
Yeah, and why aren't like men always like a woman, right? Or the woman or
No,
a man,
but
you know?
I remember.
dare you.
I remember.
You're gonna get us.
I
like,
remember a tie, a sport coat and a tie.
Are we past all? I thought we were past all that. You were about to say that I was.
Oh no! How dare you? We're all gonna get canceled.
That's what I'm saying. I thought
Again?
we were past that though.
No, are you kidding me?
Nobody's get-
We're
Oh,
we're
never
right
mind.
back in the thick of it now. Thanks. You know the problem is
I thought canceling was over though.
No,
Still
no,
then?
it's
Okay,
worse.
still
Go
then.
Trump.
You know, just like freedom of speech is back. Remember that whole speech said, "Oh, and freedom of speech is back, everyone."
But if you
It's
say
like-
something against us, you're a terrorist.
yeah.
like
I will cancel your
no.
immigration.
No, there is no free speech. There's even less of it
There's
now.
less.
It's bad. Okay, so I was thinking about like your whole thing right now about like Victorian ghosts. Well, I mean, if you're in Korea, you see a Korean ghost, right?
Right.
Probably.
That's the other one.
yeah, probably.
That's
yeah.
the other one.
There's like this show. I think it's called.
In Mexico, you see La Llorona.
Oh, right.
Ay, mis hijos.
So like there's this show on Hulu from Korea. It's called Long Shot, I think. I'll have to send you the link to it. But there's this one scene that shows like a Korean ghost, and it basically just looks like a regular person except really elongated and weird. And so
that's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. So I think it's a cultural thing. So maybe, but that also helps you refute this idea of that, because it's like, I mean, if you really truly saw, like for example, at my school, right? We've saw and heard things, right?
Isaac, you and I have experienced.
I mean,
stuff,
and
right?
it was nothing.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything we could actually see or picture. We heard it though mostly.
I saw the shadow. I saw the light turn on. Isaac saw the light turn on.
But we didn't see if they were wearing Victorian clothes or if they were like if they were like, George Michael from Wham, like, wake me up before you go style. So I don't know.
I completely agree. I mean, I completely believe in spiritual beings,
Yeah,
in
I do too.
ghosts, I'm sure you guys
Remember
do
the lady we heard in that old house?
We have
lived with
so
her?
many experiences
We have
back
so
then.
many.
However,
Wait,
You say, my God. Stop. Remember? Okay, so we're like totally. This is our best at like 1 in the
Yeah,
morning.
I
So
think we all
let's
have
Wake
figured
me
it out.
up before you go. Don't leave me
so tell me about
hanging
this
out.
ghost.
hold
You saw,
on, he
you
had
saw
a question.
woman?
Isaac had a question.
was it you that you were telling me that you heard La Llorona one time?
No, not me.
That
wasn't you?
No, what he was trying to tell you is he
I
was,
was
crying, like,
crying
a
like a
Llorona.
Llorona. I was like, "Ay, mis hijos." It was me. It was me. No.
lactating all over the place. It was disgusting, man. I'll tell you what.
Were you there or something?
I'm still there right
Zing.
now. You could say
Got him again.
You could say I never left.
Why do you think he never left?
It's traumatic.
A jitterbug.
Yep. There you go. The eagle has landed.
It's like, oh no. Can we hear it?
Are you a
Oh,
racist?
hey.
Wrong one, dude.
Well, you know that's actually the person being deported. They're going to El Salvador.
No. Yeah, but you know what's the other funny part when you bring up the whole Korean?
Man, we're getting invaded. It's
Yeah.
happening.
It might be coming for us.
Have you guys watched Red Dawn? Because that's a really good training movie for like our
Shut up. Only the original one. Okay, so you mentioned the ghost of the Korean and all that would make me laugh because my son was watching some Jabberwockies, that's what I'm going to call them,
Okay.
on YouTube. What were the names? I don't know, but they were at the Island of the Dolls in Mexico City.
Oh my god.
And they, it's all like they butchered the actual story. Like that freaking helicopter's butchering this story.
It's okay. So I mean, we can still
It's
share
all ambiance. Don't worry about it, folks. It's a ghetto bird. We're in LA. What do you want?
the ghetto bird.
The ghetto bird. A ghetto bird.
This is the attention
Okay,
span we have.
Anyway.
It's so bad.
Um,
We're so professional.
so they're there. There are these two white guys in Mexico City supposedly contacting. It goes through this like chatterbox that they created. Or
Oh
they,
yeah,
supposedly it's really
I've seen
good.
that. You can
But
buy it
my
on
question-
Amazon, by the way.
Yeah, and they're all
if you go
crappy.
around it like you can hear words that says goes dead. I'm dead. But it says I'm dead. I'm dead. Walk away.
But you know what the
Over
funny part?
here.
Wait, they're in Mexico. It wasn't English.
But that's the fun. That's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
okay.
That there you would be my punch. You know what? No, but that's my whole point. They're in
Right.
Mexico City,
Yeah.
a place where they speak Spanish. I would say Mexican. They speak Spanish, right?
Basic.
I
Are you
don't think-
racist?
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
The answer is yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
what makes me laugh is the fact that they're in deep in Mexico and they're contacting the spirit of Don Julio, and he's speaking English.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think so, dude. Like, what? Why? What the?
Okay, to be fair, when you die, you become multilingual. You become
omnilingual.
No, I think the word is there is a word for people who can speak a lot of language.
polylinguist.
No,
polyglot.
I don't know. Yeah, polyglot. Yes, correct.
Polyglot.
Yeah,
I got the
so when
polyglot.
you die, you become a polyglot.
Yeah.
So I can come back. I'll be speaking friggin' Babylonian.
I was in cahoots. That is Deutsche Bahn. Yeah.
I'll be, Azerbaijan.
Eu não posso dirigir que agora parece. They don't
Jihad. Jihad.
Nah, it's just funny. Have you been following the paranormal
Habibi.
stuff on set?
Who?
The paranormal stuff on YouTube. Have you?
No, I
There's
have
a-
not. No,
There's a lot of good stuff.
There's some good stuff. There's terrible stuff.
In
dude.
good stuff, I mean that it's fun, not that like
Oh,
it's
yeah, that
real.
too, that
You know
too.
what I mean?
I see. I mean, I just don't watch a lot of YouTube or fun stuff.
What?
I watch boring stuff.
It's that's
Stock
okay.
trading and
Oh.
no.
But is it making you money?
Money.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Then you
either.
need to stop watching
Funny.
and you need to start watching that stuff because we're not making money either, but we're having a lot more fun than you. That's for damn sure. Because I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know that those guys that you were talking about, the one that I watch,
Uh-huh.
some of the videos do kind of seem real. It either feels like somewhat real or it's like over the top, super fake.
Well, for what
Like
I've
those
seen, it's
guys.
super duper fake. It's like bad. It's like cringy bad. That's what
Yeah.
I've seen, but that's just my opinion, I guess.
But
People watch this
they're
show and they
still
say it's
kinda-
cringy.
They're still kind of fun to watch.
All
Sometimes.
right. So
Unlike this show. Okay, got it.
I really wish Doyle was here because then we can get into skinwalkers. And how stupid dude, skinwalkers, that is the most stupidest thing.
No, they're ignorant.
Where did
That's
they,
ignorant.
Where did they come from? Like, where did the idea of a skinwalker come? It's so dumb.
Okay, so there's a place that they call the Skinwalker Ranch, and it got they promoted it and they got marketing to make this show kind of like Search of Sasquatch and Ghost Hunters and all those
Search
shows.
for skinwalkers.
So they did a show called I think Mysteries of I don't know, but something Skinwalker Ranch or In Search of Skinwalker Ranch, and it became a thing where all of a sudden it's like there's skinwalkers, and they're out there, and there's one now. Look, and they look at and it's just like a dog walking by. It's like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
skinwalker.
It's so stupid.
It is such a ridiculous concept, but it's like the new trend.
So-
paranormal always has new trends. That's like the new
Yeah.
thing.
People
it's the
actually
new
believe in that?
Yeah, it's the new chupacabras, dude.
Wow.
It really
Well, the
is.
duendes and then
Okay, don't get me started on duendes. I do believe in
Okay,
duendes.
but I have a question for you guys. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I have a question for you, Angel. I know that there's all this like mystery around like forest, but I've also heard about the Appalachian Mountains. Apparently,
talked about that last time.
So what
Oh,
is?
yeah.
Can anybody? What is the details of that? What do you
So the
find there?
Appalachian Mountains is a little, well, not a little. It's a big section of the United
Well,
States.
yeah,
and
it's an
South.
archipelago that splits up like pretty much. It splits up like where the Louisiana Purchase, all that
Yeah.
whole area. It cuts right
It's
across.
a natural,
and it even
border.
goes all the way up to Canada, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
It does, and it's a huge chunk of land that is undeveloped up to this day.
Yeah.
and,
Well, I
and
mean,
people get lost all the time, and there's a lot of mystery because it's such a large area, kind of like the Rocky Mountains as well.
So, but what is the memes? Do you know about it? Like, what are the memes about it?
I mean, I heard a little bit. Basically, like that in those forests, a lot of paranormal and like monsters and stuff like that happens there. But I didn't watch much. I didn't watch most of it because it kind of seemed fake, and it was late at night, so I didn't want to get scared. So I just
Fair
scrolled to the next video.
That's where Trump
Smart
comes
move.
from.
Oh, let's send him back then. Appalachia.
Appalachia. Ooh. No, yeah, it's there's. Have you ever
Pet
seen? Have you seen the movie?
dog.
Have you seen the movie The Descent?
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
Uh,
That's
not.
an amazing movie. You should
What
watch
is
it.
it? What is
The
it?
second one's okay. I like it because it continues the story. But the first one I went in blind, so I'm not going to tell you much about it. But it's
That's
basically
not the one that's in France, right?
No, The Descent is the one where it's in the Appalachian Mountains.
Right, okay.
And it's a group of girls trying to do like a woman bonding trip, and it's also like a bachelorette party. And they decide to go. What's it called? Spelunking.
Yeah, spelunking is
Spelunking?
going to
When they go in the
into
caves and stuff?
Sure, yeah.
So they go spelunking because that's what they do.
And then-
That's what they're. Well,
Well,
three of
because
them.
their boyfriends go spelunking on them. Oh man, that was bad. I'm sorry. Please cancel me. I apologize. That was not kosher.
You've reached your limit on talking.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
That's good advice. I'm sorry. Please, that was not good.
As I was saying.
I am trash. I
So,
really, I feel very guilty.
It's a great movie because there is.
You need to repent of that, sir.
I'm doing so right now. Like I'm reflecting really hard. That was
my
not
God.
cool.
Just get up and walk out. No, I'm kidding. It's a great It's a great movie. It has a
It's
twist.
more sad that I've heard that term though. We use like
Which one?
The spelunking.
Spelunking.
Well, I learned the word from a video game. Funny enough, there was a game called Spelunker. Remember that?
I remember Spelunking.
And Spelunker was like a Nintendo, like a 8-bit NES game in which you were this little guy, kind of like Pitfall Harry, going down into like
Oh,
the
yeah, I do
caves,
remember that.
and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how I
yeah,
knew
yeah, yeah.
That's
Spelunking.
what Spelunking means. I think that's where I got the word too.
That's probably how. So you see, video games can teach you big words, kids. Learn this now.
vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great movie because you feel the tension of them exploring this cave
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, and they're like, oh my god, they can't fit and all that. And it's a great movie. It does have a twist. I'm not gonna ruin it. Watch
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
But
twist.
I kind of like the setup, the premise that they were going with before the twist, more than the actual twist. But it's still a great movie, even with the twist. Like I like it. It's a horror movie. I'm going to tell you that right now.
All right, cool.
But it's great. The Descent.
Do you like horror movies, by the way?
So not that much. I'm more like Isaac. I don't want to watch them at night. I'm gonna have nightmares.
I
They just don't
love
entertain me as much as comedy, action, or drama. That's basically it. And I don't watch a lot of movies to begin with, so I have to be picky.
I know this isn't the Halloween episode that we all want, but you know what?
Whoa.
I love horror movies
Me too.
because I feel like what horror movies do is on one hand it makes us face our own mortality, like it puts it right in front of us, this idea of like death, and while it trivializes it to some degree, for us, I think it's a cathartic thing. I think that we're like hardwired on one hand to know that we're gonna die, but on the other hand to like really believe that we have a permanence, and so watching movies sort of helps us kind of envision it. And that's why you get a lot of tryhards, like kids who try to we all went through it with Rotten.com and Orgrish and those, where we try to kind of like psych each other out, like, oh, look what I just saw. And it was the most horrific videos that you can watch trying to, we talked about this last time, I think, even with you.
Yeah.
But I think really what we're trying to really do is face our mortality. So I watch horror movies for that reason, and I mind you to be entertained or whatever. But that's what I do.
I love sci-fi movies and kind
I
of on the
love
same
sci-fi.
play, especially if they're dystopian type. Because it almost,
cyberpunk or dystopian is my jam.
but I like the dystopian in terms of almost like you said, like the whole mortality, mortality, but in terms of human nature.
Yeah.
Like where it's all gonna just go bad. Like we're all gonna end in a horrible, world.
Well, after the last 2 months, I believe we are going that way.
I think so too. So I think that's why I like these movies because it almost seems real. It almost seems real to me.
I was sitting at a restaurant 2 weekends ago with my kid. We went on a Saturday afternoon to go get something to eat. It was the Chicken Coop over in Downey. Gotta go. It's great.
No, there's the Chicken Coop. The one in Whittier is one of the first ones, and
Yeah.
that's the one I go to.
I go to the one
I
in,
know the
in
honors.
Alhambra.
Yeah, the Alhambra one's
where we're
great.
going.
That one's great too.
I love
but-
that one.
Well,
Well,
we've gone to Chicken.
So I was sitting there.
Chicken.
I was sitting. They sat us there, and right next to me were these loud girls because it turned out it was during brunch. So a lot of different people, young people.
Mimosas, hey.
Exactly. Now there was this one guy who walks in and sits with them, and he's all tatted up. He has tattoos on his neck, and he looks like a very not a guy that I would want to associate with. I mean, I hate to make those
He
generalizations.
looked like a
but,
doodle bear. Let's just put it that way.
and then
Remember Doodle
listening because we were sitting. Yeah, I do actually. We're sitting like right close to each other because there, like probably the distance between our tables was maybe like this and one more, so I could hear everything, and I was trying not to, and it confirmed to me that this is not a person that I would ever have wanted to be friends with outside of that situation. But then like that thought came to my mind, what you just said about like the only thing that's keeping this person from hurting me and my kid is this little thin line that we call civilization. And you like to think that those laws are hardwired. They're not. They're so flimsy. I often talk on this podcast about the social contract that we all have, and the idea that I won't hurt you, you won't hurt me. And the way we reinforce that is that there's consequences, not just from a moral standpoint, bad, good or bad, but also from a legal standpoint. Your freedom can be taken away if you do something bad. There's a lot of these things, but they're not perfect systems, but they're the best ones we got.
Do
But
you really want to hurt
yes,
me?
yes, badly. I just want to.
Jeez.
I was watching hockey the other day, and I was yelling out
I
putazos
I
every chance I got.
I saw that you went to the Kings game.
And did you see the video posted of
What
said putazos?
No, I didn't see the set putazos. I saw the video with the Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
card in the urinal. Was that your?
No. I
That was
actually
that is
went up
classic.
to the urinal, and this is at the crypto.com theater.
It's still the Staples Center.
And I'm there, and it's my turn to go and urinate, and I look down and I'm like, oh, that's a Rangers baseball card, and I
you
go,
where you're
I'm gonna take a picture. Oh, gotta hide my willy, and I took a picture of this.
That's a
thing.
dangerous place to take that. This is like a urinals with multiple, right? Where you have like multiple
yeah,
people
but
around you.
there's a barrier between us, and I was
okay.
very discreet.
Not like
I
the
went
Dodger
this.
Stadium where it's just like a
It's it's not a trough. We're all like just
You know what?
We're all just hanging wanging like
Wait,
trying to, like
somewhere right now, there's someone telling the story. There was this guy in the urinal taking a picture of his gum. Dude, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
Jesus Christ,
Man, he was just like, like snip, snip, snip. I don't know what that was about.
It's because it's impressive, people, and I just want to share it with the world.
Not
That's
because
not
of
as-
length.
That's not as bad as what I saw at the LA County Fair.
Where'd you see at the LA County Fair?
When I went to the restroom, I was coming out of the stall after using the restroom. And I came out of the stall. I see some guy like spit on it, and he starts going like that at the urinal.
Was it because of you being there, or was it because just in general?
So I hope it wasn't because of me being there.
Bro,
But I just
Why
remember
didn't you tell me this, Isaac?
because you weren't around. It was me and my friend Ivan just walking around by ourselves.
Ew.
Like by the time we caught up to you guys, I had already forgotten about it.
How would you forget that?
yeah,
That one. That's the one.
that's the one.
Oh my God. Okay, that you win this episode. You win this episode. That was.
Oh my.
Yeah,
There it
it
is.
was.
My guy, you know what? In the terms of our new platform that we're on, click on the do like and subscribe. You sir were essayed. I mean, that's bad, bro. Like if somebody like spits and starts whacking it off, like they're in San Diego. You're
Whacking
gonna
it,
you're gonna need
whacking
some
it,
therapy.
Jacking it off. Whacking it, jacking it off.
You sir are gonna need some therapy, and we're gonna try to get a sponsor, BetterHelp.com someday. Maybe they'll come to us, and we will make sure to
Not
help
after watch
you.
the show. Not after watch the show.
Because we're out there, we're out giving trauma.
So that guy.
Trigger warnings.
That's hilarious.
We are.
I
the
mean,
trigger.
it's not hilarious. It's disgusting. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it said. Jesus, some people, man.
You've reached your limit
Hey.
on talking. Shut the fuck up.
That's probably what people are thinking about this guy too. Taking a picture.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's so okay.
you know, that's the funny part. Okay, so his taking a picture reminded him of like that
Of a guy spitting on his
spitting
wing.
on his wing.
By the way, that's some.
Spit on that thing. By the way,
We need that right there somewhere, bro.
by the way, that reminds me, my 6-year-old is going around the house lately going Haktua.
No,
Oh my.
Oh, I don't know where he got that from.
I don't know what that is.
the algorithm, bro. It's like it gets away from you. Like you, all you have to do is
He-
turn away for 1 second,
he
and
doesn't know-
suddenly they're like 2 clicks away
He
from.
doesn't know the context about it, but he's heard some
Yeah,
other people say it, so
course.
he's repeating it.
Of course.
So, Mark, since you're not really like
And it-
social, online kind of
Not
stuff
social,
savvy,
yeah.
so a couple months ago, like last year or so, there was this blonde girl who was talking. I don't remember the context because I have a very short attention
Oh, is
span
it
and I don't care.
The Hot
crypto?
girl, yeah,
Yeah, the crypto
Oh,
girl.
I know
but
about
before
that.
But
she-
do you know
her?
how she became
No, I
the
didn't know the
crypto girl?
crypto. Yeah.
there was
So-
an interview that she did that she came out and they were asking her how to like keep a man or something like something
Yeah.
like
How do you keep a man
happy or something like that.
Yeah.
And she said, well, it's very easy. You got to spit on that thing. And then she goes, Haktua, you know what I'm saying? Ha ha ha, laughing, right?
Oh, crap.
So it
So they
became,
turned her into a national hero because of that.
that's the state of America, dude.
right. That's the reason why
And
we
were
have a
talking
Cheeto
about this
puff.
last
Like,
night or the other night where we were like,
She-
no morals, no decency.
She
yeah,
got an
no
agent.
filter.
She got an agent. She's
She
making
sure
money off of her saying that Haktua.
and then she
became
goes
known
and
as the
cheats
Haktua girl.
Wow.
people through crypto,
Yeah, she
and then she
sets up
turns
this crypto
around and
thing.
says, "I'm sorry, I
It
really
wasn't
didn't
me."
mean it. It wasn't me." And then she makes even more money. So hey,
And the funny part is because she's a certain melatonin challenged,
she's very white, y'all.
she gets away with it. And it's like, forget it all.
Damn it! I thought it was gonna say, "Are you racist?"
No, you got to go back to the first page. so that's the story from it. But the thing
I
is,
love this, dude. This is great. I'm drunk with
he's
power.
I know. I'm taking the board away from you.
Well, you know what? You've
No,
had
actually,
it for
you know what?
3 years.
Have fun, my friend.
For
Have fun,
3
my friend.
years, and now I'm the captain.
Look at me.
Look at
I'm
me.
the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
Mark, it is all going over your head.
I have no idea what that
Yeah,
was.
never
That's
mind.
for Captain Phillip, the Tom Hanks movie. He plays a guy who was like
Based on a true story.
on a boat, like a trading lane, and pirates
Somalians-
came on.
Somali pirates.
Alright.
And so the guy, when he gets on board with his AK, he goes, "Look at me. I'm the captain now." It's such a great scene because it's so infinitely
That's
memeable.
another movie I gotta watch.
He's like, "Look at me.
I'm the
I'm the
captain,
captain
now.
now."
Anyway, so long story short, that's the Haktua. And now
right.
my 6-year-old is saying Haktua around the house.
Oh, that's all
Haktua.
bad.
Spit on thing.
he thinks Haktua means just spitting. He doesn't understand the whole
Right,
concept.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Which Haktua does mean spitting,
spitting,
but you
it's
know.
a little more like what
Yeah.
Isaac saw at the LA County, at the Pomona County Fair. You know,
Yeah, that's all
did you
bad.
tell him spit on that thing?
Spit on that thing. Spit on that thing. I mean, it's kind of funny that it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, that's what made it. Like,
That's what made it good.
I don't know, but yeah, we're screwed as a
Society. Oh, sure.
See,
I mean, we're the fall of the Roman Empire. That's what we're living in, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring out the violin
I
and start
agree.
bringing.
Yeah.
Anyway, before the COVID, I thought the zombie apocalypse could never happen, but after seeing how we treated COVID, I'm like, yeah, it's very plausible.
Yeah.
It's very, very plausible.
Yeah.
The world, we could be Mad Max the next day. I'm gonna have shoulder pads with
Well-
like out of tires. Like,
Yeah. Again, why does every dystopian movie go back to that? Right?
I don't know.
Go, like where everyone's
I
like
love the
wearing
movies,
leather
but,
and
you know.
Run away.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, you know the reason why.
Hockey mask on and
because
everything.
because society is inherently zesty. That's the problem, and everyone just wants a reason to be.
I'm gonna have a mohawk
homoerotic out in the world.
He's
with
wearing a mohawk.
feathers.
'Cause
With
you know
feathers.
what?
and
I'll
stuff.
tell you. Okay, I'm gonna give you a riddle. Okay, I'm gonna give you a riddle. When, like in our current society, when is it okay to be homoerotic? In our current society, when
What?
you're in a dystopian like movie, because apparently it's when like when it's used as a means of power and violence and control. That's when it's okay. And I don't believe it's okay, but I'm just saying that that's the implication. Like, do you remember the meme from Boondocks? That one guy who there was this guy who was interviewed for show, and I guess he was talking about how when he approached guys when he was in prison. He said, well, sometimes I he said something about man booty being important to him. Those are the words. That's exact words he said. And then he turns around and he says, if I meet somebody, I would tell them I likes you and I wants you. Either we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. It doesn't matter much to me. That was his pickup line, and so they turned that around and turned it into the Boondocks character who kind of said the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is I think dystopian movies are just an excuse to really outline this really, really bad idea of what human nature devolves into. Which, by the way, the zombie apocalypse is just one long parable of how that looks. When it comes down to it, yeah, I'm sitting at this restaurant with this scary looking guy and I'm thinking, man, the only thing keeping this guy from hurting me is those rules that I talked about earlier.
Just
And there
walk
it is.
away.
So,
All
scary.
right. Well, before we run out of time, I wanted to bring this up because you had mentioned your favorite movie, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
I had never seen that movie. I know.
Have you changed it yet?
I just saw it.
Which one? The final cut or the
Final
original?
cut.
The final
That's
cut
the
is the best
only
one.
one to
That's
watch.
the only one to watch. Anything else is garbage.
All right.
Final cut.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And this is just a neutral question.
Yes.
Yes, he's a zombie.
What makes that movie so special to you?
First of all, cinematically, it's a beautifully framed film. Every part of it is a perfect frame. It's a art piece. Okay, the music of Vangelis is stunning with the visuals. Those long synthetic, it's just like and then the fact that you actually get this world experience where it's plausible, where we get so overpopulated, oversaturated that we build upon build, and we have things like you see the $1 Million Theater, you see actual downtown being built upon, and it feels
organic
and real. Yes, and it's a living creature. The main character of Blade Runner is not Deckard. It's not the replicants. It's the society of Los Angeles in that time period. That Akira feel that you gave me when you first showed me Akira. By the way, just the opening of Akira. Just watch the visuals of the city of Neo Tokyo and Blade Runner. You could see the parallels, and it's just chef's kiss. That is what makes the movie, and the fact that it's the future. There's to be more open, more intelligent than we are now in this society, but they still require slavery. They still require someone to look down upon, aka replicants.
Right.
That shows you how corrupt, morality humankind is. They will always have to have someone to piss on. Always.
Well, it shows how essential it is to create another or other person in order to hold on to the reins of power that we have
we crave.
And our current systems are reliant on that on that premise.
Yeah. What are we living in right now? Right now we're the government is picking on immigrants. Why? Because it's the easy target to distract from the fact that the higher ups are the ones with all the power, and they're just
the fact that we have an oligarchy, like we talk about, like shadow governments. We have one that's right out in the open, and they're basically working against the common good of people. But hey, you know what? As long as they're getting rid of the immigrants, that's all.
They took our jobs.
And so that's unfortunately how it goes. And so to answer, like, what makes that movie so good is certain truths that movie reveals for us. Which, by the way, when that movie was made, they were at a point they were in an inflection point of history where a lot of the past was still available to them, like how things were. But the future was right in front of them, and they can predict it to some degree. So that we're now, when you look at those type of movies, you can see that there's a lot of truth in what they were doing, and it feels relevant.
If you
I like
want
that.
to, if you want to dive more into it,
Yeah.
you should check out a documentary called on Stranger Days or
Mm-hmm.
Strange Days, which is the making of Blade Runner. 'Cause
Oh,
Ridley
okay.
Scott actually had a B crew filming behind the scenes,
Interesting.
and it was kind of a nightmare shoot. It was a bad shoot, but everyone bonded together. Everyone went through, but everyone who worked on it were a little traumatized. They're like, that was one of the toughest films we ever made.
Oh.
Wow.
They even made T-shirts that said, "I survived Blade Runner."
So the movie, the point that he made earlier about that slavery being like still needed in that society. This movie was made by the same guy who did Alien, right?
All right.
And so if you look at the movie Alien, there's these things. They're not called replicants, but they might as well be. In fact, the running theory is that the movie Alien is the future of Blade Runner in the sense that, the Alien movie takes place in the same timeline
Well-
as the Blade Runner, but farther into the future.
Let me interject. It's not a theory. It's actually Ridley Scott he said yes.
I think it took a long time for him to agree with that, but initially
Well,
you had a different name. For example,
if you see Alien, the first one, the system that they use to take off and land when you see the screen is the same system that the spinner cars have in their in their screens. It's the same system.
interesting.
And then also when you see in Aliens and the other ones, when they talk about the Weyland Utani Corporation,
Right.
they also talk about the Replicant Corporation.
Oh,
It's the same universe. It's just they always say that it's the same universe, and to this day they still say it's the same universe. It's just they're not gonna straight out say replicants.
right.
So
But they
it's
can
another
all-
brand. It's kind of like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, the
Yeah.
replicants and the droids and
Now,
androids.
the reason that I bring this up, the reason why it's relevant is because since it's the same movie writer, same movie director, in Aliens, the replicants are the other, and they're looked down upon, just like in Blade Runner, and ultimately the movie. There's themes of that in the later movies too, where a lot of the worst decisions that humans are making is how they treat these replicants who look like us but are treated so badly. And the newer movie, I think, what was it called? Alien.
Prometheus? No,
No. It was a really good one that I liked.
Romulus.
Romulus, man, it's a great movie. Now, while
That
it
was
wasn't
pretty
made by
good.
him,
Yeah.
he was a producer of it. The movie's fantastic, but it does really dive into the mistreatment of the replicants, and it's a great theme. It's a scary theme. That's why we love those movies. That's
And
why
if
I love those movies.
And before we wrap up, if you want to actually dive more into those, also Blade Runner 2049, great movie.
Okay.
Great movie.
Yeah, the sequel. The
It's
sequel.
a
to Blade
sequel. It's amazing. It's really good. There's another Blade Runner movie coming out as well.
Runner. Oh,
So and a series.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's another one coming out. So look forward to those. My favorite movie. The sequel, I did not like it when I first watched it, but I think I was just my expectations were really high, and it felt more smaller in scale than the original. So I think that's what really bugged me about it, because you don't get the big visuals and stuff. But it is a beautiful movie, with the asterisk being there's Jared Leto's in it, and I can't stand him in that movie. But other than that, it's a great movie.
Awesome.
But we're out of time.
Yeah.
It's been an hour of power. And Mark, anything you want to add? Anything you want to plug? Butt plug?
No, thanks for sharing all that. I think I plugged this last time. I am working on an app called Charity Vibe with a few other people, and it's still in the works, and it's in beta testing. And basically, it's an app that puts together. It helps nonprofit organizations gain more donors and volunteers through a reward system, through gamification, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so that's hopefully getting off the ground this coming up summer. Other than that, no, thanks you guys. And again, thanks for that little summary on recap on Blade Runner. I wanted to know because I saw it more on a surface level type. I thought it was going to be a typical sci-fi movie.
It's not.
But no, you're right. It was a lot deeper. And I said, oh, wait a minute, this is different. I wanted to know your take on it because
That's how I
saw a lot of the moral things in there too. And so to end, I do want to say once again, we're in a very messed up world right now, a society. And I'll be honest, I'm very saddened by it. It's very immoral, very just everything's way out there. And again, I sound like an old guy, and maybe I am, but that's just how I feel. So I'm telling everybody, just let's kind of change our ways, can we please? Find Christ, for
Enrique?
God's sake.
Well, I don't have anything to plug other than just, there's a lot of good movies and TVs out there, and sometimes we need an escape from the news because, man, bad things are bad. But go to ouchcast.com That's where you'll find our socials. There also you'll see like links to our friends of Ouchcast, and we talked about olgasnaturally.com. And man, I just keep on looking at this. I want to eat this food.
Delicious.
It
And
really is.
we're not making any money off of this plug
No.
at all, but I think I'm gonna hit this place up tomorrow.
Their smoothies, the best.
Oh, the smoothie. Oh my God. We should have gotten some Max, man.
Yeah. And so go to ouchcast.com for our socials, and on YouTube right now, on Spotify, but on YouTube, please, hit like and subscribe. We're trying to grow this, and I'm hoping, that this show is entertaining. So please come back for more.
If we hit 500 subscribers, Enrique will shave his head.
No.
Oh wait, no, I'm just kidding.
I will do the truffle shuffle, from like Goonies.
The truffle shuffle.
I will do it, but it will be much
Hey,
better.
you guys! And thank you for joining us on this wonderful episode.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, in the next one, we're actually indoors.
I
No more
kind
of
of
this.
dug this. I'm digging this
I like
vibe.
this too. It's pretty the best that
You guys
have.
don't have to edit this crap, so no. So remember, Ouchcast.com for all things Ouchcast. We are the original Ouchcast. The other ones are just poor imitations. I'm looking at you, British folks. Or not actually, I don't think they're British. I think there's something else now. I forget what they are. And remember, never make eye contact while eating a banana. Good night and good luck. Cut.